So check this out, guys. I had a whole other video. I had like 30 clips from yesterday of what I did to the car, and I was gonna make another video, but I'm tired of uploading failure videos pretty much. Let me get in here in case there's any mosquitoes, but I tried rewiring this pump, the booster pump, with the green wire way. You know, and the car, ran way worse. Stalled out instantly out of the driveway, running horrible. Got it back, tried rewiring it back the way it was, where the video footage where I drive the car decently, and it's running like crap again. And I'm just, I'm totally, it was a very discouraging day, back and forth. I probably tried 3 different wiring ways until I'm like, it's got to be the booster pump. So I disconnect the booster pump, and I hear and by doing this whole process yesterday, like sometimes I'd hear the pumps turn on and sometimes I wouldn't. It was strange. And then, so I try to drive it with the stock pumps, sputters, same exact thing as the booster pump did. So now I'm thinking, now I start thinking, is it my fuel pumps? Is it like the voltage to the fuel pumps? It's got to be something fuel related, because I've been messing around with this thing. I got it to run good sometimes not. So I'm just fooling around, doing more Google searching through forums and all that stuff, and I came across, a guy with similar issues, kind of, but he went through replacing all the things that I did, and he turned out it was his fuel pumps or something, and he ended up replacing them. And then I started thinking about this PPRV thing and these hoses, these OEM hoses that connect the 2 pumps together. And I was thinking, and I'm thinking how that would make my car run, and I'm thinking of like a crack in a hose and fuel, because it changes the pressure. The car does it automatically. It changes the pressure, what you need. So that hole is going to get, and then I read a post that some guy said, his ECU got tossed into like a safe mode or something, which causes the pumps to go on like 100%, which really blew a hole or something. And I'm thinking like, man, if I had a little crack, like since I bought this car, and it's just been getting gradually bigger over time, and now I'm messing with the pumps, or the alternator went out and could have caused that hole to get much bigger, or it's just going through my mind that I really need to drop the tank. I need to see what's in there. But before I waste time doing that, I really want to check the fuel pressure. And I was like, well, there used to be a fuel gauge in here, but it was broken. And I'm led to things for a reason. I watched one random fuel-related YouTube video yesterday, Streetcar Shenanigans. It's an early one where he's like working in his garage, and he's showing the fuel gauge, because he's running it out of the hood and stuff, trying to figure out a problem. Because I'm like, yeah, I'm going to have to do something like that, because I think there's a fitting already in my fuel rail for this gauge possibly, and I could actually do it electronically without a tap or something like that. And I paused his video because I was noticing his gauge, and it looked exactly like this when the car was, off, when the gauge wasn't hooked up. His needle was on the 30. And I always thought this thing was broken because I thought it would be at the 0. Obviously fuel pressure I would assume is 0. But he mentioned vacuum in this too, with a boosted car. So I'm thinking maybe that's why it is the way it is. And maybe mine's not broken. So now I'm thinking back to when it was in here, and when it would run, and how it would like just bounce around and fluctuate. It would never go past like 40. It was always like fluctuating down here. I'm thinking I had weak fuel pumps or something this entire time. And what I mean by weak fuel pumps is, even if you have a booster pump or a booster type of anything in here to try and increase the flow of the stock pumps, it isn't going to work. If your pumps are screwed up, the booster pump isn't going to be doing anything. It's going to be trying to compensate maybe, or, you know, compensate for the screw up of the pumps. And it's just going to cause the air to fuel to be a mess, like what mine's kind of been doing randomly. Because, I mean, the car will just run good for a period of time, you know, and you're driving along, and then it'll just be doo out of nowhere. So I'm thinking it's got to be those lines in there. So what I'm going to do is hook this up. We're going to see where we're at fuel pressure wise. I'm sure this thing is going to be bouncing all around. I'm still on the stock pumps. The booster pump is not hooked up. And I'm going to go from there. If it's got bad fuel pressure, I'm going to drop the tank and inspect. And I assume I will find a cracked hose. I mean, I'm really leaning on that right now. It's just my gut feeling. And then hope the tune, when this thing was tuned in 2016, retuned, that hose back there was okay. And it was tuned from a solid line. Because if it was tuned off a leaking line and then I fix it and then I go to drive it, it's still not going to be driving the best. But I'm sure it's not going to cut out on me. Yeah, you know me, always trying to get by doing the least amount of work. I was seeing if I could fish out the wire with the plug-in so I could just plug it into the fuel gauge right here, but it looks like I'm gonna have to start trying to pull these pins out again. I put a screw in here because the pin broke. I can't wait to get a whole new setup here, but I need to get the car running decent first. And the humidity is finally gone today. What's up, Turbs? Man, these push pins are a pain in the butt. Luckily, I put some screws in some of this stuff. Oh, there's another one. Great. Alright, so all the screws are off. I'm just going to go get a towel so I can put it down and not have anything resting on anything. Gotta remember to film. Alright, so it's down. I'm sorry about the lighting. It's gray out today, so I'm in here. I gotta find that plug. I'll plug it in and start it. I swear nothing's easy. Let's see if I can get the... Oh, here we go. I think I cut the plug. Hopefully it was just a 3-wire. I'm gonna have to try and find a schematic online. That sucks. This came unplugged. Ay, ay, ay. I knew I should have left it plugged in. I wonder what I did with that pigtail. So I guess it's black, purple, and gray. I'm gonna go check in my room, search a little bit if I can find it. I hope I didn't throw it away. I might have. And then these 2 wires are just for the bulb inside, I believe. So I really just have to figure this out. Even if I don't have the plug and I just have the wire, I can push them in there and just get a reading. This is what I hate about a outdoor type of garage like this. Yeah, that thing's huge. Oh boy. Oh, so I think I'm on the right track. Black, gray, and purple. These are the wires I need right here. I could just tap into it right here. But rather have it in the car because then... Yes. Alright. So those are the right wires. That's good. Now at least if I just find a schematic... Man, that spider's huge. I can see its eyes glowing from here. You gotta be kidding me. Oh, those are literally its eyes glowing. So I'm confused. This is the video I was referencing. I mean, look at his gauge is like exactly where mine is, I thought. Yeah. A little below the middle dash, a little below the middle dash. Yet when I look it up online, they're all at 0. So is this guy's gauge in the video messed up too, or does anybody know? I guess I'll try hooking it up anyways.
Put the fuel pressure gauge back on it so we can watch it in the cab, and it does not drop fuel pressure at the RPM that we're getting used to. So fuel pressure's out, which is good because we were thinking that we were gonna have to.
This is why I'm not the biggest fan of buying a car with stuff done to it, but I mean, look at this thing I found. It's a little dial. It seems to be turned all the way down. You can turn it all the way up. Oh, what the heck is that for? So I don't have the plug. I've been Google searching and I can't seem to find a schematic. They're all for the newer ones that have more wires, like the full sweep electronic gauge and stuff. I think I'm just gonna pull these out below so I have more to work with and I can put this thing back. As you can see, they come through right here. Here's the 3 wires from the pressure thing on the motor. Finding all sorts of stuff near my pedals here. I'm near the dead pedal here. It's dirty. I haven't cleaned anything here, but there's a plug near the pedals that's unplugged. I don't know what it's for. Just checking things out while I'm under here. Never really checked anything out. So the pillar's back up. I pulled the 3 wires out down below. It's hard to see. Right here. So, I hate this. I can't wait to get something new. So right now I'm waiting on where I can hook those up. I made a post on Facebook. Have Google searched it, but everything's newer. So I just gotta wait, I guess. I wanted to do it right now. Hook it up, start it up, and see what my pressure's at. I'm sure it's gonna be crappy. New day. I'm actually removing the booster pump. I'm just gonna sell it, even though there's nothing wrong with it. I'm just gonna go a different route. I got to drill these rivets out, so I put a trash bag down to catch any shavings. I actually talked to the first owner of the car yesterday, and he sent me a bunch of pictures and got to know him pretty good. Cobra Bob, the original SVT forums guy, and he makes the shifter gaskets now. Really nice guy. So I didn't have the plug, and after a lot of searching online, I couldn't find any good views. I found a couple fuzzy pictures and I zoomed in and did my detective work, and this is what I came up with. I marked which ones go where, and I kind of stuck them in the hole. And temporary. This is just so I can get a reading. Running rich. It was at 12. I guess I have Ford Focus pumps in here, I believe. We'll find out for sure when I take the tank down. So battery voltage was just at 14. Alright, so this is my temporary way of doing this. I just need to drive the car with the gauge hooked up so I can see what it does when it hesitates. Hopefully it's hooked up right. I'll start it up and we'll find out. This is bizarre. I have the key turned on. It should be pressurized, the system. But I hook up the ground and... what the hell? I've never seen it do this before. So if this is seriously my fuel pressure, we have issues. The gauge is having a little issues. That's why I'm trying to hold the wire. If I let it go, it'll go like this. I know, I need a plug for it. That'll be hard to find. The place. I think there's an issue in the tank. I really do. So there we have it, folks. I'm not even gonna drive it. I'm just gonna get new pumps and go from there. Booster pumps for sale though. So that pretty much confirms it. I had a gut feeling about this. That's why it takes so long to start, because it doesn't have the rail pressure. I mean, I'm at 20. I'm half of what I should be. And I assume, you know, the hose is split between the two pumps back there. So it's everything I'm trying to adjust fuel pressure up. It doesn't matter. That's why when I turned it up or all the way or disconnected the switch, which makes the booster pump go max power, that's when I had that one good run that night, and it drove decently and had a couple hiccups during it, probably because it was pushing so much fuel and it was forcing it past the crack in the hose. And I'm assuming it opened up more, the crack in the hose, because it then got worse. And now I'm seeing that my fuel pressure's low, and then the car's struggling. It's the computer is probably trying to do the best it can to get it to run where it should be. So it's fighting itself. That's my conclusion. So it should be back up and running in a few weeks. I'm not sure what I'll be doing to videos